Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be doing a how to call in more money. Pick a card, but instead we're going to be picking coins because we're talking about money today. So first coin, it's really going to be like silver versus gold energy. So whichever one you're called to, maybe you wear more silver, maybe you wear more gold, maybe you had a conversation talking about silver or talking about gold. That's going to be the power for you. Okay, so this is just, this is a $50. So this is just to represent silver. This is a random coin. This don't even represent, this doesn't have any cash value. I think this is from like I don't know, one of those like game places, but anywho, so this will be the gold coin. So which one you're called to more today? I don't know if you can see it. So silver versus gold, the $50 versus the gold coin, or the gamer's coin, whichever one you prefer. So this is going to be pile 1. Okay, silver. Pile 2 is gold. So pile 1 silver, pile 2 gold. So whichever one you feel more called to, whichever one you like more, you wear more, whichever one you maybe had a recent conversation pertaining to. That's what we're going to be talking about. Sorry, I got distracted. But that will have the power for you, okay? So we're going to be talking about just how to call in more money, possibly addressing some money blockages, but really just overall how to call in more money, more abundance. So I'm actually going to start with the tarot first. That came out, but we'll see first. So for pile 1, what do I need to know to call in more money? What do you need to call in more money? And I got my money instinct going right now. First card, 6 of Pentacles. So I'm feeling like you need to circulate your money more and also be a little bit more generous with this 6 of Pentacles. So you could have a raise on your way, or you could have more money just on its way to you. But it really is giving the energy of giving back to the needy. So donating, maybe you have some clothes that you don't wear, that could be a way that you can give back. You might not have money, you might be like, I don't have anything to give right now, but there's other ways that you can be generous and circulate your wealth to people. Maybe your wealth can even be your ideas, your expertise, and sharing that with people. Maybe making content, making YouTube videos for free, something like that. That can help raise your abundance. Something else like donating old clothes that you don't wear, recognizing that I don't appreciate this thing the way that it should be appreciated. Let me give it to someone else that will appreciate it more. So that's recognizing the value in something without actually, using it, and also to upgrade your wealth. So being more generous with people, and it doesn't have to be in the way that you may even think. It could even just be lending a helping hand when someone asks for help. Just being more helpful, being more generous, that is going to come back to you tenfold. So that will upgrade your wealth, is just being overall more generous, and even circulate your money. It could be an energy of hoarding your money. Maybe you do have a lot of resources, but you don't circulate them. So you might keep all your money in a regular checking account instead of putting a little bit or putting part of it in a high yield savings account. Maybe diversifying and buying some ETFs that will, give you dividends every week or every month, or something like that. Buying more stocks, possibly looking into real estate. Different things like that. But instead of just keeping your money in a regular checking account, that's real key. So even if you're too scared of maybe like stock picking yourself. Maybe just follow the S&P 500, and invest in that, because that has an average like return of about at least 8% a year, so something like that. So don't just keep your money in a checking account, and just circulate your money, not only for yourself, figuring out ways to build passive income, but also being a little bit less frugal as well with that too. Like if there's something that you really want, really value, and you've been keeping your eye on it for a while, and you can see a way that it could upgrade your well-being, your quality of life, that's something worth investing in. Not just random stuff like impulsive buys. I'm talking things that you really been eyeing, you've been looking at. Maybe, for example, I don't know why this came up, like a water filter. Like, yeah, it's expensive, but you drink water every day, and say if it's like alkaline water, that could benefit your health, so yeah, it's expensive, but there's long-term benefits, and that can help just you not hoarding money and valuing it and putting it into things that can actually pour back into you is what's going to upgrade your wealth. Okay, so that's one thing. I think I actually want to get into Oracle. We might revisit the tarot, but what else do they need to know to upgrade their wealth? What does pile one need to know to upgrade their wealth? Oh, there's a couple stuff came out. I think that's it though. So with the Oracle, this one kind of came out first. It was like sneaking, like it didn't want to come out. So maybe this could mean like you're avoiding alone time, you're avoiding just time to yourself, and that in itself can kind of be detrimental, just because you sitting with yourself and allowing your nervous system to reset and to give yourself that self-care and to realize that your main asset is not good for your mindset, I feel like, because the more you pour into yourself, the more that you realize that I'm worth receiving this wealth, But if you don't treat yourself like that asset, you're pushing that away, or you're not training your mind to think, I'm worthy of that thing, So whether that be maybe like getting essential oils, or maybe go getting a massage or something like that, that is making you feel like a priority. That's making you feel like an asset, making you feel like you're worth being poured into. And so that is what's going to call in more wealth, because if you don't see yourself worth that, then it's going to be hard for other people to see it. It just is. So you got to recognize it first, and people will feel that in you and just how you do things, and you will be able to put more of your 100% in your projects, and also get better ideas as far as investments and career paths, because when you're not fully have a balanced nervous system, you kind of do impulsive things, or you do things out of survival rather than out of your intuition. And you're following your intuition, you're going to be rewarded by it with money, just period, just because you're acting in alignment. When you're in alignment, that's when money flows. That's just period. So really, part of this is just you getting into alignment for that wealth to be attracted to you, really. So the more calm your nervous system is, the more you're going to be able to hear what your intuition wants, or what your true heart desires are, and to act on them. And when you act on them, that's when the money's gonna come. Okay. So it could also just be an energy of like maybe just sitting down. Okay, maybe you just need to sit down. Maybe you're just too work, too logical, that you just need to sit down and maybe dream a little bit, sit with yourself, figure out what you really want. I would say going to the water could really help with this. Like maybe if you are by a lake, or like a pier or something like that, I would visit that and just take some time, you know, don't go on your phone, just sit, just be. And I think some good ideas could come to you. If not, just a reset of your nervous system so you can kind of hear and think clear. Okay, that can benefit you. And also that benefits you because when your nervous system isn't regulated and when you aren't truly fulfilled, you end up spending more money, you know, because you're not doing things that actually provide you true fulfillment. So you go through the path of trying to obtain temporary fulfillment by buying little things, little trinkets, little treats and stuff like that, instead of actually doing the real work. It provides you that temporary satisfaction, you know, or even just not truly loving yourself and valuing yourself. You become a customer, flat out. People can market to you easier because you not loving yourself. I mean, people make money off of that. The beauty industry makes money off of that. I mean, honestly, a bunch of industries make money off of that. So you valuing yourself allows you to see things clearly, spend your money in just smarter ways, for lack of better words. Next card, birthing a new age. So also energy of like being a little less serious too. I feel like you could be very like logical and very like hardworking too. You know, like your work. Or you just overthink things. And I think you need to take some time to just connect with yourself, connect with your intuition. And I think that there is some creative things that you need to do. This might not even be nothing like major. This could even just be you like drawing, you know, doing a puzzle, something like that. But I do feel like it is partly an energy of creation. And I think that whatever idea that you might have on the back burner, that could be allow you to unlock this wealth. And it could be something that benefits people too. Because, you know, the first card was talking about being more generous. So maybe figuring out or creating something, packaging something that shares your, you know, ideas, your expertise, and can help benefit people. And even if it's not that, maybe you just creating in itself is just inspiring. You might give, even if it's like a poem, you might give people words to something that they didn't even know that they were feeling. And those words help people gain awareness of their situation and hopefully work through it. So it's healing. So I think just overall creation could help you. Creation is just a way of circulating your energy as well, circulating your wealth, because we all have creative ideas, creative gifts that we need to share with the world. So hoarding them is the same way as me saying keeping all your money in a checking account. It's not beneficial, you know, and doesn't allow you to make money. So one last card I want to do. One last card. What do they need to know to like unlock this next level of wealth? Ooh, two cards actually came out. One came up on the floor. Sorry. So two cards could be red flags in the beginning or the reason it fails in the end. Could be a job, could be a relationship we're talking about, where it goes back to not being fully connected to your intuition. So you might go down paths for way too long, which could have been avoided if you just listen to your intuition. And it can cost you time and cost you money, which time is money. So that's could be kind of like a money leech, an energy leech that you need to be mindful of. Following your intuition so you can act with more discernment as far as with opportunities that come to you, and also like people and relationships that come to you, because being attached to the wrong person can be detrimental to your money as well. Closed mouths don't get fed. It could be also just you not wanting to ask for help, you not even wanting to share your ideas, though. That's really what I'm feeling like. Closed mouths don't get fed. Like, you're not going after what you really want. Yeah, you're not going after what you really want. You're not showing up as maybe who you truly want to be. And it's like the energy of people can't find you if you're not acting as your authentic self. You know, like the opportunities can't come to you. Say if you're an artist, but you don't post your work, nobody knows. So it's like, how can you expect an opportunity to come to you? How can you expect people to like want to buy your stuff, or feel some type of way, but you're not putting yourself out there? So how was anybody supposed to know? How? If I went on your page today, would I know? Do you have a website that I could purchase from? Do you have a way for me to pay you? Get those things set up. Yeah, so I'm feeling like just acting as your best self, acting out as the person you want to be, vocalizing who you are, who you want to be to other people too. And that can help you stand on it. Like, for example, like you might not fully do, have everything that you want to have created, but still telling people, hey, I'm an artist, flat out, So when opportunities come up, they think, oh yeah, I know such and such, they create. I can call them, for this idea, this project, whatever. But if you don't tell people that, then it's harder for that to happen. Those serendipitous happenings to happen. So yeah. So I think that's all I have for you, Pile One. I think that's all I have for you, Pile One. But this was a really good read. Be more generous. Take some time for yourself. Prioritize your creative works. And also, I wanted to say cultivating a world. Like a world around your identity. I don't know why that just like last minute came up. But it kind of piggybacks off what I'm saying, like showing up, telling people this is who I am, and creating a world behind that, creating this immersive experience for people, whether that be through your art, that can help call in more money. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you know someone that's, kind of just stuck, or just, likes this kind of stuff, likes, readings, oracle readings, tarot readings, send this to them. They might enjoy this. But yeah, I'm going to move on to the next pile. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye. All right, pile 2. So we're going to be talking about what you could do to call in more money, more abundance, more wealth. Okay, pile 1 was good. I feel like pile 2 is gonna be good too. So let me tap in. I don't know why I wanted to do the oracle first. I didn't do that with the last pile. This just I just opened up to this. I don't know. Longing for home, belonging, original light workers. Interesting. Could be the energy of creating what you want to see in the world. Okay, so maybe you feel so lost. Maybe you feel like, I don't know what I want. Maybe you're feeling lost. You feel like you don't see anyone doing what you want to do, or you don't see anyone's career, anyone's life where you're like, I would want to trade places with them, or I will want that. That's because you're supposed to create something of your own. You're supposed to create something of your own, and that is, you don't know, but that's going to help other people come along with you. And I think that the energy of community is going to help your money. But we're still in the reading, so I'm still kind of like figuring it out. But based on this alone, I'm feeling like it's definitely like you need to create the world that you want to see, and you are too busy trying to look into other people's lives to find a path, to find like a roadmap. And that's because that's like kind of causing more detours for you, because That's not the path you're supposed to be on, because you're supposed to create your own. So it maybe that can even avoid wasting time too. You need to create your own path, and when you create this path for yourself, that's when more people are going to come along. But I do feel like it could be energy of loneliness too. And it's kind of hard with that, because you kind of need community to build money. You know, you kind of need customers. You need to connect with people. You know, you can't be on an island, you know. Even to the simple, base level, even if you don't want to interact with people, simply identifying a need, you know, that maybe someone hasn't really noticed yet, you know. And in you identifying that need, you can provide something, provide a product, provide a resource. But yeah, there's something, I think that it's really energy of inventing. Very like Aquarian. You could be Aquarius, you could have prominent Aquarius placements, but just feeling like a little bit alone. And that's because you're supposed to create your own world. I want to pull one more. Another one came out. Like, this is like so interesting. Align your life. What does not align? So I feel like this has to come first. So first, like, kind of saying, hey, like, I'm no longer looking at anyone else. I'm no longer looking at people's Instagrams and trying to figure out what to do. I'm no longer looking at other people's lives. I'm looking inward. I'm looking into my own world. I'm looking into my own desires to figure out what I truly want to do, what I truly want, what I feel like I need. And if I need it, I'm pretty sure someone else needs it, you know. So I think it's something that you're going to realize in this period of kind of looking inward, that there's something that I wish I had help on, and when I'm working through it, I'm going to help other people do it. So when you get to this next card, when you find that vision, when you find that idea, when you think about what can I provide people, you have to first realize, well, what's not aligned? You know, what is preventing me from taking that step forward to either creating that thing or to even set an example, I want to say. So you have to figure out, what am I doing? Who am I giving my power to? I want to say, who am I giving my power to? Because you see these fragments, I feel like you're giving people, you're like leaving parts of yourself with people, because you aren't thinking of yourself as a main character. You are seeing yourself as like a side character in other people's lives, and you are looking to them for an example when you need to. The only example you really need to look to, not, you can be inspired by people, but for you are very like, it's just like an Aquarian kind of energy. Like, you're very unique. So you looking for other people for advice is just, you're taking your power away when you are so powerful in yourself and as your whole self, I want to say. So this person is not their whole self. They're giving other people their power, and they're not acting as their true authentic selves, because they're trying to fit themselves in all these different places that they're not supposed to be, because they're supposed to create their own place. That's what I'm feeling like. So unfollow people that you have that kind of relationship with, where you're not looking at them out of inspiration, you're looking at them out of insecurity, or like feeling like in kind of comparison mode, I want to say. That's not good for you right now. I think you need to look at yourself, and also I would do like a list for yourself. Do a list of all like your strengths, all your good qualities, all your strengths, all your good qualities. Take a second, sit down, like, and really think about all the things that you are good at. And I think that can kind of unlock your next door. But you need to first recognize that your power because I feel like you're giving it to so many other people, and you need to be a leader, not a follower. And when you become a leader, when you rise up, when you rise to the occasion, and you put yourself together, and you call back your power, maybe this can even be from relationships, could be from jobs where it's unhealthy dynamics, and you look to them for help, you look to them for ideas, you look to them, and you're unfulfilled, and you need to be thinking of your own ideas, you know? Yeah, I think affirmations will be good for you to just recognize your power, and to embark on this journey, because you have, I want to say you have a responsibility to create this for yourself, because you deserve this. You deserve this resource. You deserve this idea. You deserve to create this life. And on the other end of that, it's going to help so many other people that felt so alone and they didn't know what to do. You are going to help them, you know, whether it be by just leading by example, or just, just providing something that makes people feel less alone, I want to say. Yeah. I don't know, this is kind of interesting. This isn't what I expected. Anyway, what else do they need to know for this next chapter to unlock more money and abundance? What else do they need to know? Ooh, I fell on the floor. 8 of Wands. Speedy news, situation coming, arrows of love. Interesting. Interesting. I'm feeling like you need to kind of stop letting things sit, you know, and take action. Take inspired action. I'm feeling like maybe in the next few weeks you're gonna get like what they say, like a fire under you, you know, like it forces you to rise to the occasion. Something like that's gonna come to you, where it's gonna put a little pep in your step. And with that pep in your step, it's gonna, I think that you're gonna kind of take whatever idea that you have after you sit with yourself and really meditate and figure out what you need, and recognizing other people need it, and you're going to act quicker. Yeah, but I'm feeling like you need to act a little bit more with urgency, you know, when ideas come, when inspiration comes, act on it right then and there and not let it sit. It's the best when it's right off the press, you know, like that's the best way, you know, because I feel like when it sits and it just sits on the back burner and then you revisit it, it doesn't have that same energy, it doesn't have that same passion behind it, you know. So I feel like when this idea comes, please act on it. And maybe with just everything else in your life, when you have things, when things come to you, act with a sense of urgency, because it's possible. Yes, you know, things happen, things come to you, ideas come to you because you were chosen for them. But at the same time, there's other people out there who could be in the same boat and might snatch up that idea, because we're all connected, you know, and we're all like part of this big fabric, you know. So it's like we all kind of have the ability to connect to this like higher source or whatever, and pull an idea down, get an idea and act on it. So if you don't do it, it's very possible someone else can, and someone else will, you know. So I'm not trying to like scare you, but I want you to really realize, you know, that what you have is so precious and so beneficial that you need to act on it right away, because you deserve that and other people deserve that as well, you know. So act with a sense of urgency, because in a way that tells, like, I don't want to use this term, but it shows that you value that thing, you know, like, because we're in like this big, the more you do something, the more it comes back to you. Let's just say that we're like in a feedback loop, like just like how your algorithm works, that's how life works, right? So how do you treat something? You know, if you treat it with urgency, if you treat it with care, if you treat it with love, that is going to come back to you, you know. So with this idea, when you act with care, when you are determined and you really give it what it deserves, all of that energy is going to come straight right back to you, because this is an 8, this is 8 of Wands, so it's going to come right back to you, you know. But it's just a sense of acting with urgency, you know. It could also be for somebody, like some like love could come into your life, and it's going to give you this like fire and inspire you to do this thing, you know. Could be for someone. I'm gonna pull like another card. This is really interesting. Yeah, so like really acting, okay, and not just thinking about it, okay? Because it's possible that you might look into yourself, find this idea, and you start ruminating, you know? You start ruminating and you don't act on it, you know? But it can also be another thing, going back to what I said about giving your power away too. Another way to really boost this abundance is to keep your eyes on your own paper, kind of thing. You know, like truly keep your eyes on your own paper. This thing that you have, cultivate that and focus on that. Don't look at what anybody and everyone else got going on, whether it be on Instagram, socials, real life, because you really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And on this card, it literally says all glitters is not gold. And this is the gold pile, by the way. So you, just because it looks nice doesn't mean that would have been good for you. You know, like, just some stuff looks nice, it looks great, but it's for that person, it's not for you, you know. And that's even to say if that thing is working for that person that you're looking at, you know, because you really don't know. You're just looking at a picture, you're just looking at a post, you don't know that person. So it could be an energy of just keeping your eyes on your own paper, and when these ideas come to you, treat them as yours, value them, and act on them right away. Okay? Acting on them right away. Yeah. But realize what you have and what you got going on. It's worth it, and it's going to be so much that comes from it. And you want something tailor-made for you. You know, you don't want what other people got. You want something tailor-made for you, because that's what's going to be the most sustainable, and you'll be in alignment, most importantly. And when you're most in alignment with what's for you and what's meant for you, you kind of just, I'm trying to find the word, like, everything is just harmonious, where everything, like, money's right, work is right, relationships are right, everything just flowing. That's, yeah, you focusing on yourself and not ruminating, not staying in the ideation phase, acting, that is what is going to generate better, generate money quicker for you. Okay? one last card. I feel like this is a longer reading today, but I have a lot to say. One last card though. Transformation. Yeah. So this is like, yeah. I think this is on its way to you. I know eclipse is on its way. So this could be on its way for you. You could also be a life path 8 or a life path 11. I don't know. I want to say for some reason. Life path 8, life path 11. Those were kind of significant. But yeah, I feel like you are going to undergo this transformation. And this is just going to help you throughout this transformation. But I think this is on its way to you. And you acting on your ideas and your ideas alone is going to cause this transformation in the wealth to come in. Okay, so that's all I have for everyone. This was a great reading. Just for both piles. I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of hype. But yeah, so if you enjoyed it, let me know. And thank you so much for watching, and you have a great rest of your day. Bye.